Yo, what is up? This is your boy Guru back with two replays for you today, and two kind of obscure, well, they're not obscure, but they're not looked at often. Two replays for you on these two really important tournament tanks. This is the KV1, and the next replay will be the T150. Why are these two tournament tanks? Well, number one, these tanks are in the tech tree and you can get them by researching them, but not a lot of people do, because this tank is nestled in the IS4 line. Now let me tell you that story a bit later. If you are here for the first time, remember to subscribe, turn on the notifications, especially if you are here for the mod pack videos. Also, please give this video a like if you appreciate some of the information. If you took something out of this video, please consider giving me a like. It helps out my channel a lot, and I will thank you in advance for it. Now, the KV1 and the T150 are on the IS4 line. Now, STI and IS4, nobody plays those tanks, right? That's why you don't see a lot of these tanks around. But why do people play these tanks? The KV1 and the T150, they are super strong tanks. I only discovered this tank like a couple of years ago when I started playing tier 5, tier 6 tournaments. The team that I was playing with insisted that we need to have KV1s and T150s in our arsenal. Now, in my live account, I actually have not played these tanks. I have these two tanks in my live account, but I actually don't play them because I use them exclusively for tournaments, and I think I've won about maybe between 5 to 10 tournaments just playing these two tanks. The KV1 is a must-have if you are playing tier 5 tournaments. The T150 as well if you are playing tournaments, or even if you play strongholds at tier 6. The T150 is a staple tank, and the KV1 is super strong tank. It has a quick firing gun with 120 penetration on the standard shells, which is like really good in tier 5s. If the penetration is not enough, if you need to come up against higher tier tanks, you can always switch to premium shells, which gives you 161 penetration. This tank reloads in 4.79 seconds, but if you have BIA, cruise skills, if you have food, if you have vents, you can get it down to 3.96 under 4 seconds of reload time, which is like really amazing for a tier 5 tank. How much damage does it do? Well, it does 160 damage per shot. Really useful. Now I'm using this line here, being aggressive, because I can. I saw a couple of like replays of people using these bushes to push forward, and I thought I'd try it out for myself, and it looks like it works really well if you have the right tank. Now, I switched to APCR shells here because this is a very dangerous line, and when it's dangerous, you want to make sure that all your shells are going to penetrate. So that's why I switched to APCR shells. But I think, in retrospect, I don't think you really need any kind of premium shells in this situation, which we look like we are already going to win anyway. So, but I'm still going to make use of it. But that's the way it is anyway. Shell velocity 792 on the AP shells, which means it's on the slow side. You're kind of like lobbing your shells, but that's okay. You know, 990 on the premium APCR shells, shell velocity, which is really good. Also, this tank has a little bit of mobility. It has 34 kilometers an hour forward speed. Oh, I am being cross-fired right here, and the artillery is cross-firing me as well. He can lob over that hump. So the best thing for me to actually do is actually move forward so that I can cut down that distance between me and an artillery, so he doesn't have the angle to shoot over that little hill. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Just going to push forward. So that's how you play this tank, the KV1 heavy tank, but you want to play it a little bit more aggressive than you used to, because you can make use of the armor, quick firing gun, high penetration if you're firing APCR shells. This is a gem of a tank. If you play tournaments, get get together with your friends, get into your gold tournaments, earn some gold with this tank. It's very useful, very strong tank in tier 5. And the next game is going to be, of course, the T150. We are in highway and we are spawned on the south side. I'm going to push straight into the city and try to be as aggressive as I possibly can. Of course, the T150 is a 105 caliber gun, and 167 penetration on the standard shells, which is what I'm going to use initially. I might switch to APCR shells if I need to. 300 damage in a tier 6 tank. This is super excellent. Now you know why this tank is so popular, especially if you are playing tier 6 strongholds, if you are in competitive tier 6 gaming, whether you're playing tournaments or strongholds with this tank. Super aggressive, super competitive tank. As I was saying, 167 penetration in the standard shells. If you're firing gold, 219 penetration, really good for tier 6. Reloads in about 6.13 seconds if you have like BIA crew, rammers, if you're running food. But in its stock configuration, it'll reload in 7.43 seconds, which is like no problem at all, really good. Shell velocity on the slow side, but not too bad, 830 on AP shells, and on APCR shells, I think, which is the premium shell, it gives you 1038 shell velocity, which is really, really good. And I don't need APCR to deal with these guys. This is already a really strong tank, so I'm just going to reload and side script against this guy. He's got no chance against me, so I'm just going to sit here, not even going to bother repairing. I don't have a repair kit, but even if I did, I'm not going to repair because I'm already side script at a really good angle. There's no way it was going to be able to penetrate me, so just push forward now. I would have liked to push forward into that KV1 and the other heavy tank that's in this corner, but I know I have no chance in hell because I don't have the speed to get up to them, to destroy them. It's such a shame. They have a lot of HP left in them, but that's okay. Again, this tank is like the same speed with the KV1, 35 kilometers an hour forward, 11 going backwards. It is not a fast tank, but it is not heavy and cumbersome slow on the other hand. So it is a very, very good tank. In case I haven't already mentioned, if you don't have this tank, you've got to find a way to XP it or free XP it. If you have to, tier 5s and tier 6 tanks, they're not difficult to research. You can play this tank with completely noob crew because this tank is so strong. You can actually just grind fresh crews in it. Maybe spend a couple of million credits to do the crew book thing. Maybe get 2 skill or 3 skill crew. 2 skill or 3 skill crew is more than enough for you to get yourself started and get yourself having fun in these tanks. Now, if you are new to heavy tanks, I'm going to recommend the KV1 and the T150 for you to play around with, familiarize yourself with heavy tanks. These tanks are so strong and they're so forgiving that they're very useful if you are a new player. You don't really need skilled crews, you don't really need experienced crews. You can play with completely brand new crews with 0 skill and you will do fine in them. You will enjoy yourself in this tank. But if you're gonna go for the KV3 or the STI or the IS4, then good luck to you. I wouldn't recommend those tanks because those aren't very good tanks to play with, but stay in the tier 5s and the tier 6 with with the KV1 and the T150, you will enjoy yourself very much. I only played one game in this tank and I already did very well, and I think I played 2 games in the KV1 and I did very well in that as well. Now, if you made it this far, please give this video a like, and thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.